one.
Let the games begin.
Many of our beloved action heroes are follically challenged. I mean, we're talking Bruce Willis, Dwayne Johnson, and of course, Jason Statham. Their hair problems mean pain problems for all the baddies in their movies. And the latest evidence of that is the bald-faced actioner, a working man with Statham this week. In this one, he again takes a little off the top off a bunch of baddies and gives others hairline fractures. Watch as I spoiler-free review this one, where Jason Statham is all mean and no mane, today on Movies Merica Live. All right, we got technical problems here. Of course, sir, because we're dealing with Rumble Studio here, of course. Here we go.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
All right, hey everybody, hey, welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica Live. With me, as always, your humble host, Van Eberts here, and I am going to be talking to you all about a working man here as soon as I get my ducks in a row here going on, because I just realized that I just forgot to, if I can get to it here. There we go, and there we go. All right, at the tippy top right there. Okay. Yeah, I could go on a whole 5-hour diatribe about Rumble Studio right now, but I'm not going to, because that's not what you guys are here for. So you guys are here for a working man with Jason Statham over here. And we're going to talk about this latest actioner from the guy that pretty much can do action movies in his sleep at this point right here. Okay, but real quick, of course, let me give a shout out to my fellow movie maniacs and my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. You guys know who you are. And also, while it's top of mind here, let me remind you that you guys are getting the live chat here during the show, because that's one of the perks of doing a live stream, is you guys can communicate with me and I with you via the live chat there. And you can do that in Rumble or YouTube there. So see if you can throw me off in the live chat if you want. I mean, I see we already got my man Lindy Rig 87 here in the live chat. So there you go. A snappy salute, or maybe a not so snappy salute to you, good sir. And hey, check out Lindy Rig on Rumble. Look for Lindy Rig on Rumble, and you'll see he's got great shows on here as well, just like moi over here. And also, yeah, and because I don't just talk about this movie by myself. Okay, I want to hear some feedback, maybe about other Jason Statham movies. I mean, we got plenty of Jason Statham movies out there to talk about. Yeah, Crank and The Mechanic and The Italian Job and The Transporter and all those Jason Statham movies. Okay, hell, he was in the movie Spy. Or hell, just ask me questions or throw comments at me about action movies in general or movies, whatever. So that's what the live chat's for, is so that we can talk back and forth with each other. So it's not just me on here going yip, 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 the whole time about, a movie and all of that stuff right there. Okay. So, all right. So let's get into A Working Man here. And this is directed by David Ayer. And David Ayer, he's probably, unfortunately, best known for Suicide Squad. So not The Suicide Squad, but Suicide Squad. And it's definitely the lesser of the two Suicide Squad movies right there. And but he's done so many other much better movies than the colossal failure that was Suicide Squad. Okay, so he's done End of Watch with Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena. Did Fury with Brad Pitt. and Michael Pena again. He's also done a great movie called Street Kings with Keanu Reeves shortly before, well, a few years before, we all knew Keanu Reeves more recently as John Wick and all that. So, so yeah, he's done a number of great movies right here. And Lindy brings up a good point there and has a good statement here. Beekeeper was pretty awesome. Exactly. Yeah, it wasn't the most cerebral, it wasn't the most intelligent of movies, but that's not why you go see a Jason Statham action movie where he's just in there kicking ass and taking names, or taking ass and kicking names, or however you want to put that there. So you just go to a Jason Statham movie for some good explosions and car chases and him, ripping, mangling limbs and and giving the baddies a not so sweet send off and that kind of thing. And usually the baddies, the bad guys in his movies are very cartoonishly villainous. And so when he breaks one of their arms, or ventilates their chest with a shotgun or something, you're like, yeah, all right, Jason Statham, you get him, transporter, yeah, so it's, you love it there. It's awesome. It's great stuff there. But in this one, Jason Statham, he stars as Levon Cade, and that he's just like a lot of his characters in his movies. He's just like an everyman. He's just working hard to pay them bills. He works hard for the money, so you better treat him right. Shout out Donna Summer. And but in his past though, he was a elite military warrior. He was like, he was an operator for the Royal Marines or the SAS or MI6 or something like that. He was like just some elite commando or something like that. But for now, he's like an everyman. He's doing construction, or he's keeping bees, like in Beekeeper that Lindy was talking about there. He's just trying to live the good life, trying to live an unassuming, peaceful life. And then something happens where Jason Statham has to switch into kick-ass mode, and it's on from there. And so A Working Man is an example of that here. And then really the inciting incident is that his boss, played by Michael Pena in this, he has a daughter named Jenny, and Jenny gets kidnapped. And I'm not giving anything away in this movie, okay, because that's all the trailer there. This is, again, one of those movies where the trailer gives away probably 75% of the movie. so I'm not giving anything away. And so Michael Pena, he knows about Levon's past. Again, Levon is Jason Statham's character. And he's like, hey, man, buddy, good buddy, old pal, pretty please the sugar on top. Will you please get my daughter back, pal? And eventually, as you can tell in the trailer, and by the very fact that this movie has a plot, Levon does eventually agree to go and get his good buddy's daughter back. And that's pretty much the movie because, of course, in trying to get Jenny back, Levon, he's got to mangle some moronic bad guys, and he works his way up the criminal food chain to get Jenny back. And it's all just an excuse just to see baddies get, their heads ripped off, or limbs get, mangled, or bones, pop out of bodies, and, people getting, just, obliterated, with gun blasts and all that stuff. I mean, it's pretty much just a vehicle for that to happen right there. So, but I got plenty more to talk about with A Working Man here, and let's bring some visual delights into the presentation here, as well as we talk about some Working Man here. And now, like with other directors, and we're talking about David Ayer in here, you can tell which movies they really give their all on. I mean, there's in my opinion here, just from what I took away from A Working Man, there's absolutely no way that David Ayer gave his all on this movie compared to other movies of his, like I already mentioned, End of Watch, where Jake Gyllenhaal and Michael Pena, they play a couple of LAPD cops. You got Fury with Brad Pitt playing like a tank commander in World War II, and he's, in this tank with Shia LaBeouf and Michael Pena and John Bernthal and Logan Lerman. It's a great World War II movie if you haven't checked out Fury. And with those two movies, you could tell Ayer gave maximum efforts, Deadpool style, because they're just so compelling. With A Working Man, though, it feels like the kind of effort he put into Sabotage or the Collector. Okay, I mean it's one of those things where you just could tell he kind of half-assed this one, and if you look at David Ayer's IMDb, you could tell. You look at the ratings on Sabotage and the Tax Collector, and you could tell that those are two of his lesser movies here. So neither he nor his co-writer, none other than Sylvester Stallone himself, really bothered to write anything that makes you care at all about any of these characters. And again, it's a Jason Statham action movie. Again, I'm not asking them to write a screenplay where it's like some romantic period piece movie, like a Merchant Ivory movie set in like 1800s Britain or anything. I'm not asking for writing where really the only thing that compels you to watch a movie is the good writing and the characters. I don't expect that kind of writing, but more than what we get in A Working Man here. And Ayer even has his co-lead from End of Watch, again, Michael Pena, in this movie, and they don't bother to write anything good for him in this. I mean, he's wasted and relegated to the part of impotent bystander. Also, riddle me this. They portray Pena as someone who absolutely loves Levon and vice versa. Couldn't Pena pay Levon enough to where Levon doesn't have to sleep in his truck to save money for his custody case for his daughter? I mean, that just made no sense whatsoever. But they throw that in a plot to really, like, for the drive home that Levon, again, Statham's character, is like this blue collar everyman, right? He even sleeps in his truck to save money to get custody of his daughter. Man, what a great dude, Now, the writing does have one good spot. I do like the father-daughter relationship between Levon and his daughter named Mary. It's sweet, and Ayer and Stallone actually wrote better stuff for the little girl than for really anyone else in this movie. So, hey, whoever the actress is that plays Statham's daughter in this, hey, you might want to have your parents send a nice big fruit basket to Ayer and Stallone this Christmas right there, because you got the best lines, you got the best performance in the movie there, little girl, there. So, and I mean, and then also, I just don't get it here. There's, speaking of Levon and his daughter, it's revealed that Levon's wife and Mary's mom deleted herself, and because of that, Levon's ex-father-in-law blames him and has pretty much full custody of Mary, Levon's daughter. The custody thing makes no sense. And when you see the father-in-law, he's supposed to be this doctor. I'm assuming a medical doctor, okay? And yet he dresses in a tracksuit and a weird-ass hat like he's LL Cool J from the 80s, or he's an Armenian gangster or something like that. He's just weird and creepy, and it just makes you wonder, what were Ayer and Stallone thinking writing this character like this? I mean, there's also a part where the baddies come after the father-in-law, and when they do, it makes no sense regarding how they carry that out right there. It's just, but we're going to talk more about that on the show here on Thursday, and on the spoiler show, Movies Merica, spoiler warning there. But and also, this movie is just a piss poor funhouse mirror, but not in a fun way, of The Beekeeper that we got last year from David Ayer and Jason Statham, or 90s era action flicks, with dudes like Seagal and Van Damme, and even Stallone himself, that, who again is a co-writer in this movie right there. And hey, we got my man Sean Cav joining us here in the live chat right there. And great to see you right there. Just saying, hey, Van and Lindy. So welcome to the show here. Thanks for the support there. And check out Sean. Go look for like Sean Cav Live on Rumble there to check out Sean's shows there on Rumble because he's got some great stuff there as well. So that is something to check out. And so what else should we check out here in this episode of Movies Merica Live right here? Well, I know what you can do. So what you can do here, actually, if you would do me a solid that costs you absolutely no money whatsoever, $0, is you can hit that like button down there, okay? That like button, you may have noticed it's giving you that old side eye. You know, it's kind of giving you that, you're going to click on me, right? You're going to click on me, right? So make the like happy, make the like button happy, okay? Don't make it keep stalking you and doing all that, okay? So, get in there and, and hit the like button. And then while you're down there clicking on old buttons right there, you can go ahead and do that. You can click on the follow or the subscribe button down there as well. And also you can hit that notification bell down there as well, so that whenever there's a piping hot, fresh, tasty episode or new episode of any Movies America show, well, you're going to find out. You're going to find out first, okay, because you took the initiative and you hit that notification bell. And then also for all my watchers that weren't able to watch it live for whatever reason, maybe you're making sourdough rolls and you were too busy doing that, or you're behind that wheel of an 18-wheeler and you're on the road again and you're working hard, and you just don't have time to watch this show live. Well, hey, respect, okay? But you can watch the recording of it. And so if you're watching the recording of this, well, hey, we can still communicate back and forth with each other. We just got to do it via the comments section down below right there. So absolutely, you could definitely do that. And let's do this here real quick. I'm going to try this out. I have never done this, and I'm probably not doing a very good job letting you guys know about this. But I want to go ahead and tell you about this 1775 coffee going on here. And let's check this out right there. Let's hit that. There we go. I could be asking for trouble right there. There we go. All right. So, but we've got, weak coffee is for the weak. And at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, all right? And free speech and calling out BS when it matters, all right? So forget stale, mass-produced beans roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Yeah, forget all about that, all right? Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness, and vitality mushroom blend, real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage. And for K-Cup pods, whole bean or fresh ground coffee, just go to 1775coffee.com, use code STUDIO for 15% off, and start your morning with coffee that stands for something, all right? You don't want some weak coffee that stands for nothing and falls for everything, all right? Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash, all right? So get it done, everybody. Get in there and grab yourself some 1775 coffee. And then that Cybertruck comes with all kinds of cameras. So, yeah, when you get some moron that, might come around and try to key that thing or burn it or something like that, you'll get them on video and you get to have some fun by putting that bastard in jail. There you go. I love that right there. So, but everybody get in the live chat real quick here. And I like that. There you go. I appreciate that, Sean, right there. And saying, everyone like the stream. Yes, there you go. I'm feeling the love right there. Again, and whenever you watch a show on Rumble, go ahead and just automatically like that, hit that like button right there. It's a zero cost to you thing to do, but it helps the showrunner, right? The people that are going through the trouble, slaving over a hot rumble stove for you. So it's very quick. I mean, even a lazy person like me can hit the like button and make it very, very easy right there. There you go. All right, let's come on over here, and I got to take care of a little business right there and get that going on. There we go, and do a little presentation. There we go. Let's do it. All right. And we're going to talk about a little bit more Working Man, why don't we? Now, like I said before here, Statham can do these roles in his sleep by now. I mean, he's been doing these action movie roles ever since, the Transporter way back in 2002, the old ancient times back in the day, where gas was like a nickel a gallon. And, the Civil War was just getting over with back in 2002. And that's where we liked it. Okay, maybe it wasn't that far back, but anyway. But Transporter coming out back in 2002, he's been doing it ever since then. So he's got it down. And, I was just watching another one of Statham's movies last night, The Mechanic, where he's in there with like Ben Foster and Donald Sutherland and Tony Goldwyn, and where he's essentially doing the same role that he does in A Working Man, except he's not working as an everyman. In The Mechanic, he's an assassin, because mechanic in that movie is code for being an assassin or a hitman or whatever. And The Mechanic, that movie is leagues better than A Working Man. And I just wish that when he does these movies, the writers would write Statham a little bit more like what was written for him as Handsome Rob in The Italian Job there. Because remember The Italian Job and how he played a Handsome Rob? He was hilarious in that movie, okay? I mean, he had a whole, great, funny cast of characters around him, like Mark Wahlberg and Seth Green, and he also had Edward Norton playing the bad guy, but just give Statham some interesting, funny lines. I mean, more often than we see here. And his performance in the previous Statham Ayer collab, The Beekeeper, was better than this. Now, Statham as Levon, he first gets into some action when you get some cartel goons showing up at his construction site, and then they start roughing up one of his workers, and then Levon, he just kicks their asses there, and then you don't hear anything more about that, about the cartel members or anything like that for the rest of the movie. Like, you don't see any response from the cartel for kicking the ass of these cartel members that were roughing up one of his workers right there. I mean, they're AWOL for the rest of the movie. I'm like, okay, that makes no sense. I mean, first off, I thought like it was going to be the cartel because of what Levon did that was going to kidnap Jenny. Well, I guess to their credit, they weren't that predictable. Turns out it's the Russian mob that's responsible for kidnapping Jenny with this. But it's just weird, again, like how they don't show up again. It's just weird, like so many other things in this movie. And it's also weird how the character of Jenny, again, the daughter of Michael Pena's character, is portrayed as so helpless. She's like, I don't know what to do. I don't even know how to tie my shoe. I'm just here to drink and look hot and all that. And then suddenly in the third act, she turns into Laura Croft. Okay. Like she doesn't do any, raiding of tombs or anything like that, but she starts kicking some ass. I mean, and so I like how, spunky they portray her, but show some continuity to that throughout the entire movie. Okay, just keep it going throughout the whole movie. Okay, don't just suddenly have her turn into Evelyn Salt, or some other some other female kick-ass. Don't have her turn into Atomic Blonde. At the end of the movie where she's a helpless damsel in distress for the beginning of the movie or for the rest of the movie there. And then also we have Jason Flemyng, Statham's old acting buddy from back in the Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels and Snatch days there, where they were in the Guy Ritchie movies. And Jason Flemyng is relegated to playing like this goofy cartoon character of a Russian mob boss. Just picture like Yosemite Sam, as a Russian mob boss or something like that. It's crazy. I mean, it's a very cartoonish, very disposable character right here, and it's just a waste since Jason Flemyng usually plays like these magnetic bad guys in movies. And then there's David Harbour. Okay, and you guys might know him best as like the sheriff on Stranger Things, and that he played Hellboy in a really terrible Hellboy movie. And he's been a bunch of stuff. And David Harbour, he's pretty much just in this movie just to play the tropey war buddy who lives out in the woods role that we've seen in countless action movies. But wait, folks, wait. This time it's different. This time the character is, wait for it, he's blind. Whoa, wow. You got me there, a working man, all right? On second thought, get the Oscar race campaign ready, okay? My God, you just really pulled one on us there, a working man. So I just don't get it there. It's a really interesting how they do that there. But that's just a little bit more about a working man, and appreciate that. And yeah, Lindy Rig right there. Yes, exactly. Appreciate that. And it says follows, likes, and reposts are free. Exactly. So like you said, go ahead and take the link for this and just DM it or text it or instant message it to anybody that you even suspect maybe wanted to see this movie, and they would appreciate finding out, hey, whether it's worth it to go check out this movie or just stay at home and watch something else, that kind of thing. Or if they want to find out something about, hey, is this movie a woke after school special, which I will go over later on. They can watch this show to find out, hey, is a working man, is it a woke after school special? And you'll find out here shortly on the show right there. But I appreciate that there. All right. So there you go. All right. Well, let's make sure I'm going to get my ducks in a row real quick, but not before I take a little hit off my beverage of choice right there. And hey, that's a reminder you guys can toss back whatever you guys are drinking here on this Sunday right here, this Movies Merica Live Sunday. So to that end, here we go. Oh, yeah. There we go. That hit the spot because I've been doing a lot of yapping over here. So, and you got to wet that whistle and take care of a little business right here. But bear with me as I handle a little business here on the show right there. And oh, there we go. All right. So, right now, I teased it last week here, or a couple of shows last week, and now it's time to deliver. And that is the triumphant return of Brew Review Time, coming back this week because I had to take like a 2.5-month break from Brew Review Time because I was doing this 75 hard mental and physical workout here. But that is all over with, folks, okay? The national nightmare is over. And so we return and we welcome the Brew Review Time. All right, so with that here, so for this first Brew Review Time, and way too long, let me introduce you to a little Shiner Premium Beer right there. Let's you guys get a good look right there. A little Shiner Premium Beer. And this is the OG lager from Shiner, Texas here. And this is a golden lager from their original recipe from way back in 1909. Okay, I was talking about way back in 2002. Well, that's got nothing on 1909. 1909 is seriously way back. Okay, way back in time. Okay, so not quite like velociraptors roaming around kind of way back in time, but pretty close. A few years after that. But Shiner Premium Lager, this is a blonde style beer. It's 4.4 alcohol by volume. It's got a 13 on the IBU rating. IBU standing for International Bitterness Units right there. Essentially, how bitter is it? And that's good to know because not everybody likes really bitter beer. Like, not everyone's going to be, ripping the top off a double IPA because IPAs typically are more bitter. But this is a golden lager here, so this is not that high on the bitterness scale whatsoever. And it's brewed with premium two-row malts, European hops, and lager yeast. And this is a great, like a lighter beer. Again, it's a lager. Okay, this is not a stout or anything like that. It's not a thick beer. It's not a barley wine. This is one of those beers where you're drinking it like, oh my God, who poured the Aunt Jemima in my beer mug? It's not that thick. Okay, it's a lighter beer that, you could, just toss one back, after you jump off the tractor, if you're plowing the fields or, you're mowing the lawn, and you want to get in the shade on your porch and you want a nice, tall, cool one to cool down with. You could do a lot better than, or a lot worse than Shiner Premium Lager here. And you should really drink this, more than, or rather than like Budweiser or Coors Banquet or like a Michelob Ultra Prime Gold or Pure Gold, I should say. This is better than those right there, particularly the tranny fluid that is Budweiser. Don't want to drink that right here. So grab yourself some Shiner Premium beer here instead, as I keep repeatedly burping over here. And I'm not getting any money from Shiner whatsoever. Okay, so this is a totally objective review right here. I mean, if it tasted like piss water, believe me, I would tell you it tastes like piss water. But it doesn't. It's pretty damn good. And just to prove I don't think it tastes like piss water, here's your evidence. Excellent right there. All right. So, hey, that brings us to the end of our first brew review time in a long time. All right. Thanks a lot, everybody, for keeping tuned in to the show right there. And let's get some more people in the live chat over here. I see we got a number of people watching on Rumble. And if you want to get in the live chat there, if you would, I'm going to throw a little challenge out there to you right there. So all you have to do, my challenge is very simple. Just get in the live chat and give me like a poop emoji or something like that, or a thumbs up. That's all you got to do. Very simple, very easy. Not expecting you to put the Gettysburg Address in the live chat or anything like that. Like, who's got time to read that, right? But, if you put a poop emoji or a thumbs up in the live chat there, and that's all you got to do. There you go. And then you can just just get out of the live chat and, go on your merry way and whatnot. I just appreciate people watching this show for however long they can, whether that's a couple minutes or the whole darn thing. That's all good right there. I just appreciate that. So, but let me, I want to tell you guys something about something you guys really should check out right there. And that is our merch that we've got available to you right there. And as you see, you can grab yourself a Movies Merica t-shirt there, but you can also get more than just Movies Merica t-shirts, all right? You can get yourself Movies Merica shot glasses, Movies Merica pint glasses. Hell, you can get yourself Movies Merica yoga pants with probably like my mug emblazoned on the ass cheeks right there. So doesn't that sweeten the deal? Right there. Yeah, absolutely. And so in order to get to the merch there, to do a little browsing, you just got to click on the merch link down in the description right there. Very simple, very easy. Even I can figure it out. So that tells you how easy it is right there. And then after you're done browsing, just get everything into the shopping cart and then make sure to put promo code MOVIES. I know it says whiskey there in the overlay. It's actually movies. Got to put movies in there. And you're going to get free shipping, my ladies and gentlemen, right there on all your Movies Merica merch. Now, one word of caution is when you click on the merch link, you might have to scroll down a little bit to get to the Movies Merica merch and whatnot. But there's also merch for other great Till Death Podcast Network shows there as well. So check that out. Get it done, okay? Because, the Movies Merica merch makes great gifts. All right. We got Easter coming up here. All right. And nothing says I appreciate the sacrifice of our good Lord and the resurrection more than a Movies Merica t-shirt right there. Okay. There you go. It's what Jesus would want you to give as a gift right there. So there you go. I have it on a good authority that is the case right there. But again, in the live chat, if people want a thumbs up or a poop emoji, I see my man Lindy Rig 87 did that right there. So yeah, you realize, hey, it's very easy. Just get in the live chat, and down there you're going to see a little section at the bottom of the live chat. And if you're kind of wondering, like, how do we get to the live chat? Right there, all you got to do on there is there's a chat button there where you're watching. There's like just a button that literally just says chat, and just click on that, and then that'll open up the chat window. And then down at the bottom, put a thumbs up or a poop emoji or whatever you want to put down there. It's very easy, very easy. All right, let's do this here real quick and talk some more A Working Man right there, as I almost forgot what movie I'm talking about this week right there. But I mean, that's the thing about this movie. It's very easy to forget about this movie. It is no Beekeeper, I will tell you that there. So, but some random thoughts I have about A Working Man. This movie, it's based on the book Levon's Trade by Chuck Dixon. Now, it's not written by Elton John. I know you hear the word Levon and you think, Elton John! No, it's written by Chuck Dixon. And I hear the book is much better than the movie here. I should check out that book. And there's a whole series of Levon books. So there's plenty more material for other movies. So plenty of other material to see if they can actually get it done right on maybe a second or third or fourth try right there. But Chuck Dixon, he's more known as a comic book writer than really writing novels or anything like that. And Chuck Dixon, he co-created the character of Bane, okay? Nobody cared about who I was until I put on the mask, So Bane in the Batman comics there. He also now writes for Rippaverse Comics, created by the fantastic Eric July, a.k.a. Young Rippa there. So, yeah, so Chuck Dixon, you've probably seen him like on Friday Night Tights with Nerdrotic and the gang there. And then just another random thought I had about A Working Man is some better movies to watch with some stars of this movie would be like Wrath of Man and The Italian Job with Jason Statham, End of Watch, and Crash. Crash, the one that won the Academy Award for Best Picture, not the one back in the 90s where they had some weirdo characters that basically got sexually aroused by getting into car crashes. No, not that Crash movie. The one that won an Academy Award for Best Picture back in 2005, I think is when it was, that Crash. So that one has Michael Pena, and then End of Watch with Michael Pena. Those are some better Michael Pena movies than A Working Man. And then as far as David Harbour goes, a couple of better movies that you can check out that David Harbour is in is Gran Turismo. Great movie. Check out Gran Turismo right there. It's not just a racing movie. To me, it's like Top Gun on a racetrack, much more than Days of Thunder was. Okay, and then also David Harbour, of course, played Santa Claus in the fantastic Violent Night. And Violent Night, that's a go-to movie for me every Christmas. So I always watch David Harbour and Violent Night every Yuletide season. And then for Jason Flemyng, a couple of better movies with Jason Flemyng is Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, and then Snatch as well. And when you watch Snatch, of course, that has Brad Pitt in it, and of course, Jason Statham and Dennis Farina and a whole great cast of characters right there. So, all right. So real quick here, just let me put a bug in your ear and ask you if you are appreciating what you guys are hearing and seeing here on the show enough to maybe throw a buck or two my way. Well, you most certainly can do that. And if you're watching on Rumble there, the way you do that is called a Rumble rant. Okay, so they call it a Rumble rant on Rumble. And so how a Rumble rant works, to throw a buck or two or however much you want to throw my way, is down in the live chat. So down by where you type in your live chat message, there's a button with the $sign on it. And you just got to click on that. It'll just ask you how much you want to donate to me. That's it. Very simple. And then if you're checking me out on the Tube of Views, or more commonly known, YouTube, you can do what they call a super chat there. And that is done very similarly to how you do a Rumble rant. Down by where you type in your live chat message there, okay, wherever you put a poop emoji or a thumbs up or something like that, down in that vicinity, there's a button that has a dollar bill on it. Just click on that, and again, it'll just ask you how much you want to throw my way, and that's it. Very easy, very simple there. Okay, so it couldn't be any easier. All right, so I mean, it's easier than making some rice-a-roni or putting on socks and all of that stuff. That's pretty simple. Okay, so got to do that there. All right, but yeah, enough of that. Of begging for money and all that with me or on that there. So. All right, let's kind of mix it up here a little bit I'm going to kind of tell you about whether this is a woke after school special here, because that's what I always like to share about every movie that I spoiler-free review on the Sunday show here is a movie, is it a woke after school special? Okay, because remember after school specials from back in the 70s and the 80s, there are those corny shows that came on like after school, as the name implies, where you come home and it'd be like, hey, make sure that if a classmate offers you a cigarette, don't smoke that cigarette. It'll cost you. Or don't get in a car with a drunk driver, right? And there was these, corny shows with a good message, but they were cornier than Kansas on the 4th of July, all right? They just couldn't get away from it. And so that's what after-school specials were back then. Well, now we have too many movies where the filmmakers, they're not really worried about making an entertainment movie. They'd rather make a woke after-school special. And so I always like to warn people with the movie that I'm reviewing, is it a woke after-school special? And in the case of A Working Man, is it a woke after-school special? Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so David Ayer, Sylvester Stallone, and Chuck Dixon, the writers of this movie, would absolutely not have any of that in this, all right? That's one of the few redeeming qualities of A Working Man is you can easily tell, of this movie that they just don't want any wokeness whatsoever. They have absolutely zero time for that crap, all right? And you can easily tell right from the jump that it's not a woke movie. I mean, it's not like they called it a working person, or they didn't call it a working non-birthing person. Or, they called it a working man there. So that's how you know right from the jump, it is not a woke after-school special. So it's all good there, all right? So, okay, now it's time for me to tell you all about a great sponsor that we have for this show right here. And, they're just going above and beyond with sponsoring this show right here. And that sponsor is Flip City Magazine. And Flip City Magazine, it's a magazine that's going to make you laugh your ass off, right? It's a magazine designed for a purpose and one purpose alone, to make you giggle, make you laugh, okay? And so what they'll do, or what they're doing, is they're taking over the mantle of Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. So, because remember back in the day, there was Cracked Magazine and Mad Magazine, where you could pretty much like count on opening up a Mad Magazine or a Cracked Magazine, and you can just laugh your ass off. You're having a bad day, and you just need something to take the relief relieve the stress of the day and all of that right there. Well, Mad Magazine used to be good for that, and I stress the word used to be, because now they allowed themselves to get assimilated into the woke Borg there, and they're not so much in the making you laugh business. They're in the teaching you how to live a good woke lifestyle, young man business right there. Okay, and Flip City, they don't have any such aims whatsoever. They just want to make you laugh. But enough about hearing from me about Flip City. Let's hear it straight from the Flip City source.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium.
Genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun.
All right. So, yeah, that should have tantalized you to get yourself some Flip City magazine if you haven't already there. And as you can see down below, we're making it very easy for you to get yourself some Flip City magazine. So all you got to do is click on the Flip City link in the description. And then once you grab your subscription right there in the, excuse me, in the promo code field, put in movies, and you're going to get 10% off your order of the best non-woke magazine around, all right? And just to prove that I'm a man who leads by example, I have got a little Flip City magazine right there. Check that out there. Absolutely. Proof is in the pudding right there. So look at how gleamy and shiny that is. Look at that. It's just beautiful. It's beautiful there. And as you can see, you got great artwork there on the outside and on the inside. You got some great stuff. Hell, you even got like cocktail recipes. Check that out right there. You got Goolicious Grog and O Tannenbaum. And let's check out some other stuff we have in here. You got good old cartoons. So yeah, a great magazine. Just kind of sit on the toilet, or on the couch. Okay, you don't always have to sit on the toilet. That's not mandatory to read Flip City magazine, but check out great stuff like this. So Flip City magazine, get your hands on it, get your paws on it, just like I've got it right here. I know you're jealous because I've got it and you don't, but you can fix that right there by clicking on the Flip City link in the description down below. Okay, get there. Do it. Yes. All right. Excuse me. Woohoo. I'm losing my breath over here. There we go. All right. And hey, we got Beyond Formal in the live chat right here. And man, I'm glad I'm surprised he showed up right there because he was putting in some heavy work today earlier. And yeah, he's saying he's driving home, but he's here, and I appreciate that. That is for sure. And yeah. Because what I'm referring to is Beyond Formal. He was in Chicago earlier today, and they were having their satanic Trans Day of Visibility, rally. They were basically it's just a whole rally with one aim and one aim only, basically to flip double birds at God is basically what that rally's all for. And so, yeah, Beyond Formal went into the Tranny Lions Den and was out there interviewing them and just trying to see like a. What's your deal? And he made it out of there alive. So there you go. All glory to God for getting our good buddy Beyond Formal out of the tranny rally alive. They're absolutely there. So and oh whoa, really? Oh, one guy wanted to smoke, huh? There you go. Wow. Hostile trannies? Wow. Who would have thought? Wow, oh my God, like it's so surprising. All right. Well, hey, how we gonna move on from that right there? So my final thoughts. I guess that's where we can help wrap this up here on a wanted man here is I just don't bother going to the theaters to check out a working man here. Last year when The Beekeeper came out, I was wholeheartedly endorsing going to see The Beekeeper in the theaters there because that was so good and well worth your time to go out there and plunk down some hard-earned dollars to go see Jason Statham kick some ass when he's not raising bees and that kind of thing. So he was a beekeeper, but he was also an ass kicker in The Beekeeper last year, and that was well worth your time and money to go see it at the theater. A working man, no, I can't give it that kind of endorsement. Wait for it to come out on streaming. Don't buy it on pay-per-view. Don't do it. Don't pay $20 to watch it on pay-per-view. Just wait till it's on, Hulu or Peacock or whatever, Netflix, whatever, Prime Video. Just wait till it's out on there and check it out there and all that. So I cannot endorse you going to the theaters to go check this out, even though it's not a woke after-school special or anything like that. But a movie's got to do better than not being a woke after school special for me to endorse it there. So that is how that goes. But but I'm glad everybody, to everybody who joined the show here today, even if it wasn't the entire episode, if you could only join for a couple minutes or something like that, by all means. But yeah, I want to thank everybody that got in the live chat here today and helped support me, and and everyone go to Rumble, check out like Beyond Formal's got a show. Look up Beyond Formal. I already already plugged the Lindy Riggs show and Sean Cab Live on Rumble. Go check that out and check out some great content, particularly Beyond Formal's episode that he's got out there right now, where he's going around and he's putting mics in the faces to get the lowdown on those of attending that Chicago Trans Day of Visibility, or as I put it, basically their attempt or their rally to flip the double bird to God there, but just in the middle of a daily plaza in Chicago right there. So definitely check that out right there. But and then also with this episode, I go ahead and share the link to this episode to anybody or with anybody that you even remotely suspect is into movies whatsoever, or into Jason Statham, or a working man, or anything like that. Okay, so it costs you absolutely nothing to forward the link to this episode to anybody right there. It's very, very low cost. And when I say low cost, I mean as in $0 right there. But all right, everybody, as I always say here, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got a popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'm gonna be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right, thanks for watching.